Welcome back. Mr. Bolaji, before we went on that break, I asked a question. Are they going to get the forms free? Because we do know that the last case I was here talked about someone spending $1 billion, at least $1 billion to become a governor. Some spend like 500 million to become a senator. And first of all, they buy the form for about 1.5 million to become a member of House of Reps. Are your people that you're looking at getting, are they going to get the forms free of charge? Well, or money doesn't have anything to do in your party?
Of course, of course. I mean, there's nothing you want to do. Even as you're sitting down here, money has to come into it. To provide whatever you have here, it is money. But talking about contesting, if, for instance, an aspirant or a candidate of a party, or no, somebody who wants to become a candidate of a party must be an aspirant before he goes into primaries, before he's elected to be a candidate. Assuming, it has happened before in ADP, this party, as young as it is. Okay? I don't want to mention names, but a gubernatorial candidate who we know is credible, one of the states, okay, came up, and we have to make up. There has to be a rebate for him. He has to pay whatever he could afford just to get the form, not compulsorily that amount that was stated for the forms. So that is to show that we can, move away.
How much is the form?
Well, I think for the governorship in ADP, it's about $1 million.
$1 million.
Where should a young person? You say that you are, imbibing not too young to run. So where should a young person get $1 million from to buy the form, and he's still going to campaign?
Well, like I said, that is the guidelines. That is not to say that ADP, because the candidate is more important to us than the money. We can always do something about it. We can always cut down. We can always accommodate him for whatever he could afford. But then...
Or he gets himself a godfather.
No. Getting a godfather, ADP is like a cooperative thing. That is the difference between ADP and the other parties.
So you're saying there's no godfather in ADP?
No godfather. For now, no godfather.
Yet.
For now.
Yeah, and we're going to do everything possible to guide against it. We're going to do it. That is because without that, we are going to become like all the other parties do, and that means we are failing. That means we are failing. There's no point remaining there. So we are going to guide against being like other parties by maintaining what we have set up in our constitution and manifestos. So if a candidate is not able to meet up in terms of finance, in terms of cash, all the other party, the members of the party come in, because we are all stakeholders. We don't want any money bag to come and dictate. We have been insisting on that. That is why you may be saying you are not hearing about ADP, but ADP is growing by the day, in fact by the minute.
Okay. Mr. Onwudiwe, when he started earlier, he talked about how they select their candidates. So it's every card-carrying member that votes, not a delegate system where you can buy. So if you want to buy anybody, buy the entire party for you to become a candidate. So that's what they use. That example was also used in, I think, Ekiti by the SDP for their primary.
And by ADP too.
Okay. Now, the question is, that bit of money politics, if his party, for instance, says, if you don't have the money for the form, we can make up for it. That means from their dues, so later you can pay back. So they are borrowing you money. How do we curb money politics in Nigeria? Because the other parties don't seem to be bothered.
No, it's very simple. I will go completely above the parties. That's the only way to reason clearly. First of all, have a good idea. If this party represents this idea, you see the type of people who can fit into that idea come up. You're not gonna, and money will naturally follow it. How does it work? If what we represent is, we are focused on totally on development, and we say we have a 3-point agenda: healthcare, education, the two major things, and agriculture, and we don't want to joke with these three, and we keep talking about it and showing ideas of how we're going to do it, guess what? Some businessman will hear and say, I think I like what these people are saying. I support you with this. I went on a course on how to raise funds for public good. First, you make the man who is doing business and he makes money begin to see how, if you get into position, how it affects his business. It's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
The man wants to invest in you. That's the way it is. But because we don't have ideas, because we totally, I don't know what to say, but we're just there, let me, hi, if I get office, congratulations. Your pepper don't rest. It's your turn. And because of that, and that's why you see people in government, the kind of arrogance you see with non-performing members of government, the way they carry them, you ask yourself, what? For what? The reason is because the man cannot think beyond how much money he's probably going to make sitting in that office. He talks to you anyhow. You fill forms and you can sleep waiting to see him to discuss a good proposal. And he's sleeping halfway through listening to you. This is what, and it won't change until we begin to focus on ideas. We have 60 parties now. We're getting there. I'm beginning to feel I should be optimistic, because our former president, Ibrahim Babangida, says we're still evolving. So it just occurred to me, yes, we're evolving. We're still, we're very primitive people now trying to evolve. And we have 60 parties. The truth is only one or two will continue to make the limelight. The others eventually will find the knowledge. They will find the wisdom and say, you know what, the only way we're going to get there is not competing with these people with money. Money is not it. Ideas. Ideas make money. Money don't make ideas. Otherwise, you know what, the kind of money that went through this country between 1973 and 1983, 10 years, France did not see it. The kind of money that we have spent on electricity in this country, South Africa did not spend it yet. They have how many? Megawatts. Over 49 megawatts of light for 49 million people. It's like one person can take 1 megawatt and do what you want with it. But we are here, actually more arrogant, and we discuss 7,000 megawatts as
with
if we've done so much. Oh, we are great people. That is how funny we are. So the ideas is what is lacking, not money. You see, money politics will continue to be there for as long as you don't have ideas. Because going into politics today, all the politicians will tell you what I want to do is to go and serve my country. But in truth.
But Oscar,
yes.
As long as there's lack of ideas, we'll have money politics.
Of course.
Do you not get the sense that with more people, let me borrow Mr. Likwede's word, more educated people going into politics and showing interest in politics, do you not think that we are going to get ideas?
It has nothing to do with education. It has to do with the nobility of the mind. Let me take you back history again. When Boko Haram started, the real reason Boko Haram started was not for what is happening now. It was a group of people who sat down and said, these so-called educated people, they are not behaving well to us. And they were actually after the elites in the north. In the area where they started. That's why they started. And it was an idea that would have started a revolution, or call it the Northern Spring. And that was why very quickly the head of that man, they shot him. The policeman that shot him is still in the police. They killed him. To kill that idea. And then the thing took another turn. So that would tell you that it's not about education. It's about the nobility of the mind. There are lots of educated people all over the place. Most of them will just face their professions. But if you have a calling for public service, that's nobility.
That's a different matter entirely.
You must have a calling for public service. Not just anybody wake up one day, yes, I can be governor. Why can you be governor? I can do better than this man.
Okay. Well, we've got to go now. So, Mr. Bolaji, I want your final word on this matter of internal democracy within political parties.
Well,
one sentence, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I can only implore Nigerians to really, really be democratic. in whatever we are doing, especially in party politics, because it's the basis for good government. Once you don't have internal democracy, then the whole thing will crumble. It's like a foundation.
Mr. Onwudiwe.
You see, we keep talking democracy. In this, we have three major cultures in Nigeria that shapes values: feudal, aristocratic, Republican. Only Republicans understand democracy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Oscar Onwudiwe, social commentator. And we also had on the segment Mr. Adewale Bolaji, who is Chairman, Action Democratic Party, ADP, Lagos State. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Sunrise will be back in just a moment. Make sure you stay with us.